This podcast is brought to you by LP Digital. LP Digital is a locally owned photography and videography business in Columbia, Missouri. It was started by University of Missouri journalism students Isaiah Lopez and Joseph Patton. Their mission is to bring local stories to life through stunning high-quality visuals that fit any budget. Because at LP Digital, everyone deserves to see themselves smile. Whether it's capturing life's biggest moments or telling your unique story, they're here to make it happen. Check them out on Instagram and Facebook at LP Digital 2026 and send them a message to find the perfect price for you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the On the Pitch podcast with my guest, Kevin Donnelly. Kevin, how you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Just got finished with PD today. Another 28th year in teaching. So
Wow, you're a veteran, dude. I salute you. 28 years in teaching. I'm only on year 7. So just when people tell me like, "Oh, I'm on year 30," or "This is 15," or like you said 27 or 26,
28. I'm going into my 28th year.
28 years of teaching.
And my wife is in her 33rd.
Oh my gosh, where does she teach?
She teaches in Blue Valley. She teaches
okay.
She teaches Spanish at Moore's Elementary down in Overland Park.
Oh wow, okay. So she's on the Kansas. Has she always been on the Kansas side?
Yeah, she's always been on the Kansas side. I've always been on the Missouri side.
Oh, okay. Is there a border battle at home? How does that work?
No, we talk about work. We avoid it. We try to, leave work at work as much as we can, but sometimes that's hard with coaching and stuff. So,
oh yeah,
we talk about stuff that's in common, but we try to leave it alone as much as we can. We support each other, to the nine, but I don't. We're careful about it. So
yeah. And so, where are you actually teaching at?
I teach at Paseo Academy of Fine and Performing Arts. I am a dual language Spanish literature teacher, and so what I teach is the ELA part but Spanish. So everything is in Spanish. It's 100% Spanish. I am fluent in Spanish. I read it, write it. I'm published in it. I can translate it, and so what I do is my group of kids, I teach 7th and 8th grade, and but our program goes literally from kindergarten through high school, and we're the only dual language program within a 6-state radius that does that. Nobody else does that. And so we get kids that come out of our school that are by the time that they're seniors, they get dual credit for Spanish, and 2, they get a biliteracy certificate, which means they can do both English and Spanish, so.
Wow. Is your wife fluent as well?
No, my wife is Puerto Rican. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So she's definitely fluent in Spanish.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to know what my wife was saying when she was mad.
Okay. So I guess quick question. Wife's from Puerto Rico. How'd you guys meet?
Well, long story short, I was in my last year of college. I was at a small Division II school that you probably would have never heard of, New Mexico Highlands University, and I had
never heard of it.
What?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of a blink and miss it town. And what happened was, so I was in my last semester, my senior year, and I had my head football coach that I was playing football at the time, and that's what my scholarship was for.
Okay.
And I had 22 hours left, but I had a year of eligibility left. So it was either, take an easy, and just extend it an extra year. And I thought, I don't want to deal with the whole new staff and all that. So I decided, you know what? And so I got special permission from the university to take 22 senior level classes, 22 hours. Nice. So I took 22 hours and I finished the semester and I graduated, I got my degree. And then what happened was I had interviewed I had sent my application out at January. And what happened was my professor said, hey, there's a job in Puerto Rico for a PE teacher. And I thought, okay, I'll apply for it. So within a week, I sent all my documents, everything I needed down there. But then I didn't hear from them for like 4 months. And then one day I'm coming back in from, I'm a certified ski instructor, and I was working in Santa Fe. New Mexico. And I came home from work and I pick up the phone and it's my soon to be boss. And he goes, "Hey, is this Kevin Donnelly?" And I go, "Yeah." "Who's this?" And he says, "Eddie Delgado." "Who?" And I no clue
Yeah.
who it was.
Yeah.
And so I ended up talking, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm from Guamini Private School. I in Puerto Rico. Are you interested in a PE position?" I go, "That was 4 months ago. I haven't even heard from you." And he goes, and I'm like, do you want to have an interview or something?" "No, no, I've already checked out your credentials, everything. You're
Uh-huh.
good to go. I want you on my team." And I go, "You've never met me." And we're on the phone. This is before the internet. This is
Yeah,
before
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
1992. And I'm kind of going, "Okay." And so he said, "Yeah, I'll send you a contract tomorrow." I said, "Okay."
Wow.
So he sent me a contract, and on my birthday, I signed my contract, and I signed a 2-year contract to go down there and teach, and right. And so I ended up doing. I call my mom, and I go, "Hey, Aunt Colleen, are you gonna come to my graduation?" She said, "Of course, you're the last of 9 kids. Of course, I'm gonna come to your graduation." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, great. Oh, and by the way, I got a job." "What?" And just lit me up and just go, "Oh, you're kidding me? You got a job?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a job. I got a job in Puerto Rico." And she goes, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "Oh my God." And they were beyond happy,
Oh,
you know.
okay.
Yeah, so it was really weird. So
Yeah, I
I
I
flew down
wondered
there.
how that would be,
So I
like,
flew down
moving all the
there.
way to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, so I flew down to Puerto Rico. I bought a one-way ticket and I said, "I'm going to make this work." And my father, God rest his soul, said, your number one priority is to learn Spanish." And I said, "Why?" And he goes, "Because I guarantee you, it will guarantee you a job in the future because of the massive quantity
Mhm.
of people that speak Spanish." Sure enough, I went down there and I got off the plane. And if you've ever, I don't know if you've ever been to Puerto Rico or out of the country. And so
No.
when you're out of the country, it's a little bit different. The 9/11 rule where nobody can go to the gates and all that, that was implied. That was done in the other countries. That's always been that way.
Okay.
It's always been that way. You can't go to the gate. And
Yeah.
so when I got off the plane, there was like nobody there. And my plane was already delayed. So I got there at like midnight. And next thing you know, I'm like, I get off the plane. I'm in my cowboy boots, my hat, my rim, my jeans, everything. And I'm like, son of a bitch, they missed me. They
Oh, like,
didn't
they
come. And I'm like, and everybody's just walking and walking. I get to the
yeah.
baggage claim, and everybody at the baggage claim is there. And if
Oh,
you've ever
okay.
been to Puerto Rico, there's no such thing as a a, a non-crowded time at Puerto Rico airport. It's just not. And people are banging on the window right at the baggage claim, screaming, "Dee, dee, dee, dee," and screaming and yelling and stuff. And they can't come into the baggage claim either. So I
Uh-huh.
go outside and I get to Puerto Rico. I get there and I'm walking up and down. I've never seen a picture of my boss. So I have no
Mhm.
idea what he looks like. And I walked past him. I thought he was a cab driver.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So eventually he turns, "Hey, Kevin." And I turn around, I look down because he's like 5'4". And like, "Hey," and he's got a little, the old pennants,
Yeah, 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 like, they're
right?
holding
He's got
up,
one of those
waiting
and
for
it says
people.
Quamini on it. And I'm just going, "Hey, Eddie, how you doing?" And so, yeah. And so that's how I got to Puerto Rico. I got my first
Mhm.
teaching job there. So yeah, it
And then
was
how'd you meet your wife?
first day of work. She was teaching at my same school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was
Oh,
teaching at my
nice.
same school, and she was a third grade teacher. And we had met like in PD, like we're doing, you and I are doing
Mhm,
right now,
mhm.
and we were shaking hands and stuff like that. But school started, excuse me, and everybody is related in Puerto Rico. It's hard to understand until you live there because
Mhm.
everybody's related to everybody wherever you go. Either that,
Yeah.
the tire shop's owned by my uncle, and the beauty salon's owned by my aunt, and everything's owned by somebody you know.
Mhm.
And so they know what color your poop is before it hits the water. It's really bizarre. But anyway, so at work one day, I I see my wife, and she's
Mhm.
walking away, and Puerto Rico is the land of the high heel
Okay.
and beauty contests.
Oh,
Fridays are
alright.
dress up days, not dress down, dress up.
Oh, okay.
Oh God. And she was walking by in a floral mini skirt, and I just went,
You're
okay.
like, "There it is.
Yeah, just,
There it is."
I asked her out several different times. She said no.
Mhm.
And finally, um, she said yes, right? Lo and behold, I didn't know this for a couple of years, if not more, that when I asked her out, right, she picked me up, and because I didn't have a car at the time,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I'm 23 years old. I don't have a car or nothing. I've only been there maybe a month.
Mm-hmm.
And so I finally, and we go, and she picks me up in her car. She speaks very little English and I speak very little Spanish. So it's a kind of interesting conversation.
Yeah.
We get to the place where we're supposed to go and eat. And two of our colleagues, the Spanish teacher and the music teacher, are playing at this restaurant,
Oh,
like a
like in a
duet.
band. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they're like, one guy's on the flute, one's on the guitar, and they're singing Spanish songs and stuff. And I walk in the door and I see my buddies and I go, oh my God, hey, how you doing? My wife's
Uh-huh.
going like this. Oh no.
So embarrassed.
No, because there's a word called chisme. Chisme
Okay.
means like gossip. And she knows the
Oh.
gossip's gonna go around. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Donnelly was with Miss Vasquez and da da da, and it'll
Uh,
spread like wildfire.
yeah.
Lo and behold, I didn't know this. Um, on the same day that I asked her out, the music teacher who was playing at the restaurant asked her out as well.
Oh
I
man.
didn't know this when I went into the restaurant.
Drama, dude. Drama.
Yeah, so I end up, and I'm sitting there, I'm having a great old time. She's sitting there just the whole time, just nodding and trying to avoid the
Yeah.
whole thing. And and later on, she told me, she asked her mom, "Hey, two guys asked me out on a date. Who do I go with?" And she said, "Well, who asked you first?" And he said, "The PE teacher, me." And I said, "Okay." And so she took the date with me. And then the most ironic thing is they're two of our best friends. I mean, they're lifelong friends of ours,
That's
dear
good.
friends. They played in our wedding.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
so
cute.
yeah, it's kind of the cute thing, but it was really kind of bizarre. But
Yeah.
they're still lifelong friends of ours. We see,
Hmm.
we talk to them and communicate with them. They're fabulous people. But yeah, it was, yeah, it was kind of a wild gig,
Yeah.
you know.
So how
So
long how long you guys been married now?
February will be February. Let's see, 94. So 31, 32
31
years,
years.
31, 2 years.
So
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like age you or anything, but my birthday, I was born in 94. So
Oh boy.
sorry to do
No,
that
it's
to you.
okay, man. It's all right. All right. It's all good.
No,
I
it's
got a
great. I
girl
mean,
I got a daughter who's born in 97 and a daughter born in 2000. So,
there you go.
the way it is.
So
So,
obviously, so you taught in Puerto Rico. So when did you come back to the States?
well, that's the thing though. When we played, I went there, and the odd story about this is I was there to teach.
Hmm.
Small world. Well, I walk into a grocery store there called Extra, right? It's
Hmm.
like, it would be like Kroger or something, right? I walk in there and I'm going in there to shop, and it's right down the road from where my apartment is that I live. And I live literally across the street from my school. So I don't need a car.
Okay.
I don't need a
Yeah.
bike. I walk to work. Well, I go in there and I'm going to go get some, groceries and stuff. And I'm in the grocery store, and this guy comes up to me, another dear friend of mine of 30 some years, comes up to me and goes, "Hey, I hear you play soccer." And I'm like, "Who the hell are you?" And he goes, "Yeah, I've been told that you play soccer." And I go, "Who told you this?" "Oh no, somebody told me." And I'm like, "Okay. By the way, we have a professional league here in Puerto Rico." And I go, "What?" I had no idea, no clue.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And he goes, "Hey, we're having tryouts. Would you like to come to tryouts?" Now, I live in a town called Guayama, but the town that I would be playing for is the crosstown rival called Arroyo.
Oh. Oh no.
And they recruited me to Arroyo before, and another guy had asked me from Guayama like a day later,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, "No, man, I'm already over here. So, thanks, but no thanks." And it was kind of a funny deal because all those guys knew what was going on. I knew nothing. I was
Uh
clueless.
huh.
So I went to practice, and they said, yeah, and I had my cleats and everything. And they do things that, the line drill you do,
Hmm.
the 2-line drill or the line drill, where you're skipping and you're clapping and all that stuff. They do all that.
Yeah.
And I was like going, okay, I've seen it, but I've never done it.
Uh huh.
So I did the practice and I was like trying to do it. And I tried to go to the front of the line like I've always been taught. Go to the front of the
Uh
line,
huh.
be the first
Hmm.
one. Nope. And I screwed it up. And a bunch of the guys who do speak English came up to me, "Get in the back of the line, figure it out." I'm like, "Oh, fuck." I'm getting roasted as it is. But
Yeah.
and we did that, literally that line drill. We did that for an hour.
Oh my gosh.
Just straight an hour. And I'm like, and I just follow along, and everything's based on steps of 3,
Hmm.
skipping a 3, everything, open gate, close gate, all that, but it's all done in sync with
Yeah.
the guy in front of you. And there's 25 guys. It's just, 2 lines, 24,
Uh-huh.
the whole
Uh-huh.
thing. And so I'm doing and we did that for an hour. And then we got to skills. And I was like,
Oh
Jesus
wow.
Christ. And it's 900 degrees and
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
humidity. I'm dripping, and which doesn't bother me because I grew up, in Hawaii as a kid. So I didn't have to worry about it.
Hmm.
Boy. And then, so after that, it was like 3 weeks worth of tryout stuff. And all the guys come up to me and they go, "Hey, Kevin, the coach wants to talk to you." And I go, "What did I do wrong?" "Oh, crap." Because you know how that is.
Yeah. Yeah. I know
Go
exactly
to
how
the
that is.
coach's
Yeah.
office kind of thing. I'm, Jesus. He comes up, and my coach speaks no English. None. Willie Boyer, a brilliant coach, but
Hmm.
knows no English. Says, "Kevin." And they had a guy translate. This guy, Hera, the guy who invited me to the practice,
Hmm.
Hera Lere, invited me to the practice. He's translating him and this other guy named An Luis. And he wants to offer you a contract. And I go, shut up. He's like, "No,
Wait,
see,
had you played soccer before? Because you said you played football in
no,
college.
no, I played soccer all my life.
Oh, okay. I thought you had
I
played
played soccer
football.
all my life.
Okay.
I
Okay.
started playing soccer when I was 8 years old.
Okay. Okay. That
Yeah,
makes more sense.
but that's just the way the ball bounced when I was in college. Somebody was offering a scholarship.
Okay.
I'm like, "You want me to kick a football? Fine.
Right. Okay.
I'll
That
go do
makes more
that for
sense
free
now.
money."
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But when I did this, so when I did this, the guys were saying, "Hey, they're going to offer you a contract." And I would go, "Serious?" And he busted out a contract. Now, mind you, it was all in Spanish. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
fuck, this is not good. It could be saying, "Hey, we're going to take you away," and
Yeah. We're gonna take your firstborn,
yeah, exactly.
something crazy like that.
So anyway, and I said, "Okay, fine, give me a pen." I didn't even think about the money, nothing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just signed it. Didn't even think. And I said, and I told my coach later on, long after, I said, "I would have played for you. I would have played for you for free." And he's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. I'd have played for free because that's what I figured it was just a bunch of guys picking up
Yeah.
and just hanging out."
Like a men's league.
Yeah, just like a men's league. Nope, full on pay, full
What'd
on
they pay you?
uniforms, kits, the whole nine. I
What
mean,
was the pay like?
eh, minimal.
Okay.
It would be the equivalent of what would be semi-pro, but there
Okay.
it's a big deal. So I'm like, "Okay, fine." And I play, and so I'd go to practice, and within a month of me being there, I had the routine down. I was like, and I was
Mhm.
at the front of the line.
There you go.
I was leaning stuff, and I was like, and then there was a route that we had, and he'd say, "Okay, we're gonna do, there's a 5 mile run we got to do," and the guys were like, "Okay, let's go." And so I had my running shoes on, and I'm like, we're kind of cruising, nice easy pace, about 7 minute mile, and I'm going, "Okay, guys, this is not good for me. I hate this. This is too freaking slow." And at this time, I kind of know some Spanish, but not enough. And I
Mhm.
was like, "Do you mind if I go?" And I tell my friend head on, "Do you mind if I go?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go, whatever you want to do." I'm gone. I take off, and I blaze the route. I get back, and the coach is like looking at his watch, and I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Wow, you really ran that quick." And I'm like, "I don't do things slow unless
Mhm.
there's a specific reason for it."
Mhm.
And he's like, "Okay." Those guys didn't, I mean, they were just trotting the whole thing. And I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
I can't, I just can't do that." And
Yeah.
so from then on, it was, it was, I always, there, playing soccer is physical there. It is,
Mhm.
it's no holds barred. I
It's
mean,
like a rite of passage there.
yeah. And I got beat up by a guy who's a couple of guys who are dear friends of mine now, but
Mhm.
honestly, just the physicality was just unreal. I mean,
Mhm.
it wasn't reckless, but it wasn't polite either.
Yeah.
But we ended up playing that season, and we ended up winning a national title.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've got a trophy and everything.
Wow.
I've got it all. I've got the pictures, the trophy, like there's a mini one, but
Mhm.
I mean the full on one's taller than I am. I
Oh,
mean, it's
wow.
freaking huge. And we partied that night. I mean, we did a caravan, and we went from town to town and bar to bar, stayed up until like 4 in the morning, just getting
Hell yeah, dude.
obliterated. And they were like, "Hey, Kevin, here, try some of this." And it's Puerto Rican moonshine, which is called pitorro.
Mhm.
And I just, what is it? And my wife's like, no, 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 don't do that. And I'm like, why? I mean, a few of those, and I was just seven
Yeah.
seas to the wind, man. It was
Did
hilarious.
you drink the worm and since
No, no,
or
no,
whatever that.
that's Mexico.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
that's mezcal, that's tequila, and I'm not a
Tortilla,
tequila
is that what
fan,
that's
but
called?
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
just pitorro is their version of it, and it's just fermented fruit, and they put it underground for 6 months, and yeah,
Oh my
it
gosh.
was hardcore stuff, but yeah, it was a blast. I mean, and
Yeah.
we lived in Puerto Rico on and off for 10 years. My wife and I. We own 2
Okay.
homes down there.
Wow.
Uh, we have I mean, a lot of obviously all her family is there for the most part.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, you know, we try and go back as much as we can, but it's expensive.
It is, yeah.
It's a steep, to take like the whole family. You're talking. I mean, there's the flights, the
It's a
hotel,
couple
everything.
grand at
Oh no,
least.
you're talking more than that.
Yeah.
It's steep. So,
Yeah. So
but
how long did you wind up playing for them?
I played only 2 seasons. I got into a third season because my contract was done, but I actually got hurt. I tore
Mhm.
my hamstring really bad in a practice. It was wet. It just cleats didn't catch, and I just, I felt it pop, and I was screaming and yelling. I had a big old bruise, and it was a really bad rupture. And then, and so I told my coach, and we were just about to go into the other season, and I said, I don't think this is going to happen. And he's like,
Mhm.
it's be all right. You'll be okay. Go get your master's. Go get that. Because I had thought about it anyway.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he said, yeah, go get your master's, man. That'll be a more, that will do you more good than it will, you playing soccer here kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, thanks, I appreciate it. But, like owed him a huge debt of gratitude because he was so patient with me because like because I didn't know Spanish, I would
Mhm.
think in English and say things. So
Yeah.
one day at practice, like like if I say, "Hey, you have time, Bridger, you have time, time, take your time, patience, right?" Well, you can't say that in Spanish. You can't say
Okay.
tiempo, 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 because everybody will stop. It means this.
Ah, okay.
Stop the game.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the coach comes over and it's like, "What happened? Are you hurt?" And I go, "No, I'm just telling him you got time, you got space." No, 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 that's not what you say. So my friend Anna Luis and Berto come over and go, no, 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 you want to say te dan, which means, hey, you have time. It's slang.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, okay.
And so I'm just like, oh, okay. I would say things in Spanish and they just kind of look at me and because I'm thinking in English. So
Mhm.
yeah, so it was a
That's
really big
crazy.
learning experience. But I mean, dear friends of mine, yeah, I learned probably more about soccer playing for them, even though I wasn't a starter.
Mhm.
I was a bench player and I played in probably 50, 60% of the games. I played in the playoffs. I did play in the playoffs. I had a goal and an assist. That was big. That was
Let's
huge. I
go.
mean, it didn't matter if I scored 5 goals. I just scored one,
Uh-huh.
and then I had a really nice cross, and a guy got a header.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing. But then just being able to be a part, I didn't care if I played or not.
Mhm.
I wanted to be a part of something, and and the people there really accepted me for who I was. They didn't care. And
Yeah.
that was probably the most fun about it because they accepted me exactly for who I was, and they're the most welcoming people you could ever be around.
Mhm.
Super, super great people.
That's crazy. I didn't know anything about that. That is so cool.
Yeah, but
That
yeah,
is
like
so cool.
my I guess like when I started soccer though, I mean I was 8 years old. I was living in Hawaii.
Mhm.
Um, Backstory to this is I lost my parents at a very, very young age. An accident with my mother, and then my father died of terminal lung cancer, and I
Oh,
was
wow.
8. So my father, his sister, and her husband took me and my 5 brothers and sisters in. They had 3 of their own, and they
Wow.
took us in. And we were living in Chicago at the time,
Mhm.
and so they took us and we went to Hawaii and we lived with them and I lived on Hawaii for 15 years. I graduated high school and then I went on to college. But they were the ones who, but once I lived with them and I met the first kid I ever played soccer with was a kid named Jim Holland. And I don't even know, I haven't heard from him since then. But
Mhm.
Jim Holland introduced me to him and it was an instant, you know what it's like. It was
Yeah,
just that
yeah.
you know what it's like. And so
Mhm.
I was hooked. I tried Pop Warner football and some other stuff, and I was like, I don't like this. But then I ended up playing football later in high school. My friends convinced me, like a bunch of, I was an idiot. And they said, "Oh, we need a kicker. We need a kicker." And I'm like, seriously? And yeah, so I played high school football. I ran track. I played soccer, obviously, 4 years in a row, and then I ran cross country. So
Nice.
I did
Kinda
all
did it
four of
all.
those. Yeah, but soccer was the thing that just kind of once I played like select soccer. I came from rec, and then a select team was there was lots of different tryouts, and I played for the
Mhm.
local. But I was hooked once, and all my friends played, obviously. And so
Mhm.
we competed against each other because they would play on a club and I would play on a club and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I lived in Hawaii for 15 years and did that. And I went to a small private high school there, a boarding school actually.
Yeah.
So
Give me 2 seconds. My dog is, like, whining at
no
the
problem,
door.
man.
You freaking white crybaby.
Yeah, that's okay. I got mine
So,
right behind me and my other one, so
yeah,
I'm good.
I noticed. This is
Yeah,
Rudy. This is my dog.
there it is.
Um, but, so obviously, like, you lived in Puerto Rico. You said you guys were on and off for about 10 years.
Yeah.
So when did you come back, and did you decide you just want to keep teaching when you came back to America?
Well, we came back to the States in 2001, actually. Now I'd been coaching. I've been like I actually when I went back for my master's degree, I coached college football for a year, and I coached special teams, and I was responsible for all maintaining all the grades and what kids were getting. I
Mhm.
graded them for every film, all that kind of stuff. But I had also coached high school soccer while I was in a grad school and stuff like that. So I've always coached no matter where I was. Even when I was in Puerto Rico, when I first got there, I coached volleyball. That was
Oh,
my first
okay.
sport that I ever coached out of college. And volleyball is extremely big in Puerto Rico.
Mhm.
I coached volleyball, I coached basketball. Um, so I've always coached. But when we went back the second time to Puerto Rico, after I got my master's, I told my wife, I said, "Hey, we're going to make sure, we're going to, once we have kids and stuff, but we had made the decision to say, hey, we're going to raise them in the States though, because we just thought that there was just more opportunity. Not that we couldn't have done it in Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
but the obvious opportunities and the
Mhm.
resources that were available
Yeah.
were just more plentiful. And so, but we never left. One of our big things with our kids was we'd never forget where they came from. And so both of our kids are fluent in Spanish. And we made that a requirement because we didn't want them to lose their identity. Now they look
Mhm.
like me.
Yeah.
They can speak Spanish, understand Spanish. They know all the cultural things about Spanish, about Puerto Rico and stuff. So we came back in 2001, and we came back, um, and I was a personal trainer at a small club, and 9/11 hit,
Oh, wow.
and that was like, and my daughter was 1, my youngest was 1, and my other one was like 4. And I remember that day like it was, yesterday,
Mhm.
where I was, who I was with, all that kind of stuff. And so for me, that was just a really different change of things, and everything changed that day.
Mhm.
So, but then like I was a personal trainer for basically about 10 years. I got some corporate jobs. I worked with a company called, oh God, what was the name of that company? Um, Mayday. Mayday was a bushing and special parts company, machine company.
Mhm.
Anyway, I had a huge deal with them, and so I ran their corporate phys ed type of thing, their health program for a couple of years, and then I saw the writing on the wall, and personal training was going a different direction that I didn't want to go, and so I went
Mhm.
back into teaching.
Nice.
Yeah, so I bet about have been coaching, but like coaching, whether it's weights training or it's soccer or something, I was always coaching something, my kids or something like that. So
So I guess one of the things is, like, why do you coach? Like, what is it something about you just wanna stick with the game? Do you like the
yeah,
interaction
a little bit of
with
both.
kids?
I like being around the kids. I really do. I love being around the kids. They keep me very humble, and I laugh like crazy with them because they always say something stupid or moronic. But they always keep me down to earth and stuff, and I like feeling a little bit more young about it. But I
Mhm.
always have. I remember the day that I went onto my high school. My high school. The bunny rabbit.
She's got a bunny rabbit, man. She's squeaking. My
Yeah,
wife's not here to hang out
that's
with the
okay.
dogs while I'm
It's all
doing
good, man.
this.
It's all
So
good.
they all want
Yeah.
to play with the bunny.
So what happened was, the day that I went onto my high school campus, actually, I knew I wanted to be a teacher and a coach. I mean, I saw the teachers there, and and I have 5 other brothers and sisters who went to the same high school. So, but I just like, oh my God, what a life.
Mhm.
I mean, I could dress in sweats, shorts, kind of really casual.
It's the best
Yeah.
job in the world. It's the
Yeah, it's just
best
I
job in the
love it. I
world.
think it's a great job. And I love being around the kids, and I love being the whole idea of doing that stuff. And so I hang out, um I have I just like being around that atmosphere because I couldn't be in a cubicle.
Mhm.
Oh, I'd just go nuts. I couldn't do a it's bad enough that I have to deal with, adults that don't know how to do their job,
Mhm.
in the corporate world. It's just so different. And at least I know I can't blame the kids for, they make the comments that they make and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not worried about it, but it's just more, I think I can do hopefully what my father did for me.
Mhm.
And so my uncle, who I refer to as my father, because I only knew my father for, 6, 7 years, 8 years. Um, he was the complete opposite of my real father. Military, 32 years. You're
Mhm.
talking reveille at 6 a.m. every day of the week. I mean, it was no, I'm not lying.
Oh,
We're talking
serious? He actually
like
did?
all like hardcore, hospital corners on your bed, white glove inspection kind of stuff, I
Wow.
mean, yeah, I mean, it was hardcore. Throw the quarter on the bed. If it didn't flip, you had to make it again. You had chores, you had jobs, you earned your allowance. There was no freebies. I learned to be very self-reliant and independent literally at the age of 9.
Mhm.
I mean, just, hey, here's a lawnmower, cut the lawn. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not.
Mhm.
And it was one of those push mowers that just rotates.
Yeah,
Not
it didn't
motor,
have an
no nothing.
engine.
No,
No
push.
engine. Yeah.
Yeah, so you mean you learn the hard way. Everything was hard, or and you earned it. And so I tell the kids exactly like that. I
Mhm.
teach my students the exact same way. The only difference is I teach them in Spanish.
Yeah.
So, I'm hardcore on my kids. So,
Mhm.
but they come back and they always appreciate it, and they come back and go, "Yeah, I liked your class." When they go to
Good,
the higher
good.
level, they go, "Damn, I didn't pay attention."
Yeah.
You know? So,
That must make you feel so good, because like,
yeah,
the
it does.
kids really, really miss you, and they enjoy your class, and they enjoy you as a person.
Oh yeah, it's a great job. I have kids that I have a kid who's literally now. Remember 3 years ago I remember the first time you asked me, "Hey, why don't you come out to my tournament?" I'm like, "Yeah, Bridger." I'm like,
Yeah.
"We're not at that level,
Well, we
right?"
had just gone 4-19, so, like, we were not very good
No, but
either.
you would now. I'm telling you, we were in another planet. But I'm not kidding, because Paseo is at a fine arts school,
Mhm.
right? Paseo is a fine arts school, so the kids are drama major, dancers, sculptors, that kind of thing, visual arts, musicians, all that stuff. Now there's a little bit of talent there,
Mhm.
but anyway, but the couple of years before that, before I got to Paseo, I was at Northeast High School,
Okay.
and the first year I got there, I think I was either we were like 12-5 or 13-6, I don't know, something like that.
Mhm.
And but my first year, and I kicked off of that team, the best player, one of the top 5 players I've ever seen play soccer in high school, ever, in all my years. This kid, he's from Kenya. God gift. I mean, the God
Mhm.
blessed him. Unbelievable speed, balance, but
Talk too much.
wow. And so
Yeah.
he popped off to a VP one day,
Mhm.
and he got suspended. And I said, I don't tolerate that. You're gone.
Wow.
And then the next year he came back and played for me. Um, we had a mediocre season, like 500. But
Mhm.
that boy, he was scary. I mean, just
Yeah.
the amount of skill that he had, but he could never get his mindset straight.
Mhm.
And I mean, honest to God, and even today, but he'll call me, "Hey coach, how you doing?" And he's Muslim. So I'd always
Yeah.
we have a kind of an inside joke, and I tease him about stuff, and
Uh-huh.
and I always so I even address him. I say salam alaikum, and he goes salam alaikum, and I go yeah. We have that rapport that we can get away with it. But he's like,
Mhm.
yeah, man. When the kids come back like that I know that have super talent, they come back, they graduate, and they come back and find me, and they say, hey, man, yeah, you did a great job. Thank you for your work. You worked really hard, but you know, so yeah, that's the reason why I really do it. I like being
Yeah.
around kids. I'm never
Yeah.
going to retire either.
Okay.
No,
I
not
lo
teaching, anyways. Now coaching, like this year is my first year in 27 years. I haven't coached this fall. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not coaching this year because it's
Just
too
too
hard.
much.
Yeah, it just catches up with you.
Yeah.
Take a break.
So did you start the Paseo Academy whenever you went over there? Because I noticed that I think they've only had a team now for 3 years.
Years.
You guys are pretty
Everything that
new.
they've done, like all the shirts, all the logos, everything was me. I
Yeah.
started, and I tried to build that foundation for trying to get kids to be a part of something, and they got the chemistry part, but the hard part with the kids that I have that maybe you don't have over. Are you in Moberly still?
So actually, I'm at Park Hill South now. So I'm up in Kansas City.
Oh, no kidding! You're right across the. Oh,
Yeah, dude, I'm
really?
I'm here now. So I got married. I got married
Congrats, man.
on the May 30th, and my wife is from Excelsior Springs, and she's like literally like our third date. She was like, when we get married, we're moving to Kansas City, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, whatever, dude. I don't even know you. Like, whatever. 3 years later, I'm here now. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow. But
yep.
you were in Moberly for.
I was at Moberly for 3 years. I was at Fulton before that
That's where you
for
were.
5 years. So
Right,
that's
right,
where I
right,
think
right.
I originally messaged you from because I think the Fulton team, or no, is when I took over the Moberly job and we were
Yeah,
looking for tournament
exactly,
teams. Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, I knew I was going to marry my wife the first date. She
Oh,
didn't.
nice.
No, I knew it. I just knew it was
Yeah.
worth the effort, and I went the mile. I
Hmm.
even asked for her. I asked my father-in-law, God rest his
Hmm.
soul. I mean, I practiced in Spanish for like a week just so I could get it right.
Hmm.
You know, I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
oh, it was a hilarious story. That's for another day. But
Yeah.
but the so you're at Park Hill.
I'll be one of the assistants there. Yeah. So this year,
I may have to
that's
come
with
up. I'm gonna have to come up and catch one of your guys' games.
we're gonna be pretty solid. I mean,
Who
Park
you
Hill
who you,
South.
who's in your have they haven't put out that's the one thing about the about Missouri I just don't get. Every year your district's different.
Yeah, you have no idea what it's
You
gonna
have no
be.
idea what you're getting. And so last year, like when I played my girls had virtually the same schedule my boys did, but
Hmm.
tons of different things happened. Like Northeast girls didn't have a team.
Yeah.
Frontier STEM did not have a team. Um, there was another team out there that only not Kaufman, Crystal Ray only had like 12 kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it sent our schedule all over the place. But you
Hmm.
never know who you're going to play.
Yeah.
You can't. It's not like in other states. You know exactly who's going to be in your district pretty much every year,
Yeah.
unless maybe some minor tweaks. But you
Yeah.
never know who you're going to get.
The bigger schools, I think it tends to be pretty much the same ones, but us
Yeah,
smaller schools,
yeah,
like the Paseos, the Moberlys, like anybody in class 1 and class 2,
yeah.
it's a complete crapshoot on who's gonna be your district. Like,
And I only
so
played of the 9 teams were in our district for the girls. I only played 2 teams, Lone Jack and Crystal Ray. Those
yeah.
are the only 2 I played. I lost to both of them. But the really fun thing is that about starting the program is, and this is where you when you're coaching, this is probably I think it's probably harder because when you have wins and stuff and you have successful singles, everything's fine. But
Mhm.
when you lose and you have those like 4-19 seasons, but when you go 0-17
Mhm.
2 years in a row, that's
Yeah.
rough. And
Yeah.
so, but the 2 wins that I have for Paseo are both playoff wins.
There you go.
Which is yeah, so when it came down to it, and so my girls played we ended up playing Crystal Ray to play Lone Jack.
Mhm.
And I like the guy at Lone Jack a lot. He's actually a really nice guy. But we ended up playing them in the playoffs, right? The second round, they smoked us. and it was fine. The kids were, but then the next week they got smoked by, or the next day they got smoked by Barstow 8-zip.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a
Oh,
total
so you're talking about like this past year,
this
yeah?
past season, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, yeah, they got obliterated, and they have this. I got to ask you this.
Okay.
I've been wanting to ask another coach this for the life of me. Do you have the same problem I have when it comes to two things? One, kids just not showing up for practice.
What's the
Like
other
just
thing?
you know what I mean? Just
Just not
where
showing
is
up?
Connie? Where's
Yeah.
Sally? Oh, she had to go home and she had to do something. I'm like, what?
Like, yeah,
Seriously, I'm not kidding you.
yeah. I mean, when we were at Fulton, so when I was the assistant coach at Fulton, we had seasons very similar. We went like 3-20, 3-20, one and
Right.
23, and it felt like that 1-23 season. We always had somebody missing. Like there was always somebody gone and they would never give you like a good excuse. They'd be like, "Oh, coach, I'm sick." Oh,
Define
sick with
sick.
what? Like, yeah, define
Please.
sick.
Do you have like the measles? Do you have polio? That's what I'm looking for. Because you and I both probably played sick.
hmm
I
Yeah,
played with
I
the
played
flu.
injured.
Absolutely. I played with 2 torn ankles up.
Yeah.
Just had them shut up and said, "Hey, I'm playing. I don't care."
hmm
They don't in our school, honestly, because now it might be different out at say a Moberly because now is Moberly a one-horse town, maybe like a one high school town?
We are a one high school town. We've got some small schools that surround us
Yeah.
for like, but they don't have soccer. Moberly's
Right.
the only school in that county that has soccer. They're the biggest school as well. So
Right.
I didn't at Moberly. I had a lot more buy-in. Even when we went 4-19,
Yep.
uh, 4-19-1, I did get a draw. I'll take that. But we like I had a ton of buy-in. I didn't have any kids who like wanted to duck out. The occasional kid would be like, "Hey, I'm not going to be at practice. Like, something came up or a family emergency."
Right, right.
And me being a first year head, because that was my first time being a head coach, was that year. I finally was like, "Okay, that shit's not going to fly anymore." Like because here's the thing. Okay, he misses practice. He tells me he has a family emergency, and next thing you know, I get a phone call from like this didn't happen, but I'm just saying like it could happen. I get a phone call from the police saying that he wasn't here, where he's at, or where is he?
Right, right,
Mom's
right.
looking for him, and he's supposed to be at practice. Where is he? And I'm like, I don't know where he is.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to like put myself in trouble, so I actually downloaded. I messaged their HR department. I don't think they're going to sponsor the podcast, but I'm really big on this app called Spond, SPOND, and it adds their parent. It's kind of like Team Snap. It's like
Sure.
it's one of those apps where like parents can communicate too, but like it also shows so like if the kid messages me,
Yeah.
the parents can also see that message. So
Are
if
you
I'm like
serious?
yes, so it completely takes away like
The middleman.
the
They can't
middleman. So
they can't lie.
they can't lie. So, but it doesn't give them a notification when he messages, but if the parent goes into their messages, I'm pretty sure they can see that.
It's
So
gotta have some
anytime
sort of a light up.
yeah, it has. So like they're a guardian on there, so they could see that. Some parents didn't join the app, so they couldn't see it, but a lot of the parents they could. And
Yeah.
also, anytime I messaged a kid on there, I always tagged their guardian. I never messaged a kid
Yeah.
like
'Cause then
independently
it
without
just
anything like
that's
that.
another bag of problems.
Yeah, right. Oh, dude, there's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many coaches who
And
are
so
just
the second
evil
thing I was gonna say is,
people
do you how bad was cell phone use?
at
Or
practice.
anywhere?
Oh,
Any
so
there's
Moberly
a new law.
last year, yeah, Moberly before the new law passed already did a no cell phone policy.
Really?
So we didn't have any cell phones in class, and if it was even in your pocket and we saw the outline of it,
We
we'd
could
be
pull it.
like, "Take it to the office. You're done. Go take it to the office." And like, yeah, Moberly. So Deb Hegg, I'm gonna give her a big props on this one because she does that. She's the principal there at Moberly, and she got a ton of flack on social media. All the parents were like, "My baby needs to have her phone. How am I
Right.
supposed to keep in touch with her?" And I'm like, "She's at school. Call the office. Like,
Thank you.
what do you want from her? Like, leave your
Exactly. What
kids
do you need to
alone."
know about your child? Your child is trying to learn. You sent her there for a reason. Go
Yes.
learn, not talk to
Yes.
me. And I had kids, I would have kids, honestly, God, no kid. They would be on social media or they would say, "Hey, I got to call my mom."
In the middle of
For
class?
what? In the middle of class? No, absolutely not. So, but I have a, but yeah, we're pulling the whole night, no cell
Good.
phone deal this year. I
Good.
know that we're going to get a ton of flack for it,
Yeah,
but
you are.
it'll be worth it in the long
Mhm.
run. I know because the kids at our school are, it's, and I'm sure it's everywhere. You know what I mean? There's, sorry about that. That's my,
No, you're all good.
hey, hey, knock it off. Anyway, so who is it? Hold on a second. Nobody's there. Knock it off. Hey,
This is
knock
the
it.
On the Pitch podcast, man. It's so
That's okay,
raw
man.
and like
It's all good.
I
It's
love
we're
it.
in the same thing. So yeah, I've always wondered about that though, the whole idea of that dynamic,
Mhm.
because I've had kids, they'll just sit on their phones, like they'll come off of the pitch
Mhm.
and they're like right to the phone. I'm like, no, put your freaking phone away and concentrate on the game. Um,
We did not have any issues like that in practices or anything.
oh, it's just it's. I think my kids have a little bit different. I I don't want to say that they don't have the same problems your kids have,
Mhm.
whether it's Park Hill or it's Moberly or wherever. But the kids from the inner city, it is different. It really
Mhm.
is. I mean, these kids, and not to say that they don't have the same issues, but the same issues are magnified.
Yeah.
I
No,
got
I would 100% agree.
yeah. I mean, I've got kids that are homeless. I got kids that whose parents kicked them out of the house. I got kids who are players that are like I had a girl last year. She got pregnant. You know, I got and she's if she hasn't already done it, it's with one of my seniors, one of my former players.
Yeah.
I mean, she's 16, and I'm just kind of, but not that that doesn't happen in another school district, but
Mhm.
I think that the system itself, like just where it is, because I'm in Kansas City,
Mhm.
we don't have a 1 horse town. We have a 5 horse town
Yeah.
plus all of the charters. So there's
Mhm.
probably,
And the private schools and the bigger
yeah, but none of
schools
my
and
kids can go to those private schools because you can't afford it. Even with
yeah.
today's, hey, we're going to give you X amount of money, but you can't
Mhm.
afford to go to Pembroke.
Yeah.
You can't afford it because it's $20,000 to go there, but you're only getting 10. You ain't got 10 out
Mhm.
of 10. If you're on free and reduced lunch at East, or
Yeah.
you can't afford it. So
Yeah.
I don't get that. But anyway, but I've always wondered that, like, because my kids, their first priority is so different than the priorities of other kids.
Mhm.
Their first priority is, when is my next meal coming? What do I have to, are my parents going to move? Are my
Yeah.
parents going to move because they got to get a new job, or, and those are, but I try and keep those kids grounded by saying, hey, you can always come to my room. You can always
Mhm.
come to me. You can always trust me that I'm not going to tell anything about something, but I feel bad for them because the talent pool that we have in Kansas City, we should
Mhm.
win state. Lincoln Academy should win state every single year. Boys
Yeah.
and every single year they should win.
Mhm.
The talent that they have is just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
But they're the parents think that their kids are like at a private school, but they're not.
Mhm.
And they have a this like chip on their shoulder, like, well, my kid goes to a private school. No, they don't. They're not any better. They live in the same hood as everyone else.
Yeah.
But they have parents, and I'm like, how is it that they had 1 year, this is no lie, Bridger, they had 90 boys on their roster.
For the soccer team?
Talking like 90 kids. They had 90 kids on listed on the roster for like JV, varsity. They had 2 JVs and they had a varsity. They had
Oh my
90.
gosh.
Swear to God, I looked at it and I thought it was a mistake. But I was like,
How many did you have while you were there on your average roster?
15, 16
Oh my
tops.
gosh.
Yeah,
It's a
because
lot of
I mean, but
minutes
we're
for a
also
lot of kids.
that's the other thing though that's different because we have like we're a 1A school. Uh Northeast is a 2A school. East and Lincoln are 3A schools. We have
Yeah.
to play East twice, Lincoln twice, That's 4 games that I'm just gonna get
Oh
annihilated.
my gosh. I didn't know that.
Yes, every year, and it's mandatory.
Wow.
And that
Are
doesn't
they like same conference or are they just keeping
no,
KC
because
public schools together?
we're in the IL. That we have our own little like district IL, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Why am I playing a 3A or a 4A school that I'll never see in the playoffs? Oh, it'll
Right.
make them stronger. No, it demoralizes the crud out of my kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And
You're so right.
now, one year though, I will say this: the first year I was at Northeast, we were a 2A school. We beat in one season. I beat Lincoln
Oh
two
no.
zip on their turf. Oh, and the guy who was the coach, he and I we don't like each other,
Hmm.
and we toasted them. Toasted them. It was only 2 zip, but man, we owned the field. We just
Yeah, yeah.
dominated. I had unreal talent, and then they beat us like 3-1 on the second round, right?
Hmm.
But we beat Lincoln. We beat we played Barstow at the time.
Hmm.
Or no, we played Platte County. We
Oh,
played
okay.
Platte County, and they were the number 2 seed in the state, and we played them to a 5-3 game, and
Oh, wow.
we were up 3-1 with like 10 minutes, and we just collapsed. But we were owning them. The skill and everything was unreal.
Yeah.
We had I had a 3A, 4A, 2A, 3A, 4A. I had 7 wins of higher level that year. But it was because I had talent. I
Yeah.
mean, I had just really good talent.
Yeah.
But that
So,
but it's not there
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. I was, you kind of already kind of talked about some of the issues that you had. I was going to ask you, like, what were some of the issues that you did have when it came to Paseo? You said like kids missing practice, phones. I mean, you talk about like
Grades.
kids coming from
They
grades.
gotta
Yeah.
work. I got
Yeah.
kids who have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, full-time job. I mean, like kids that work, and I say, "Hey, well, I got to deal with what I have." And
Hmm.
I have girls that have full-time jobs. I have guys that have full-time jobs. I have, I had one guy. I had a player who played for me. He wasn't very good, but I just loved his enthusiasm. This kid named Eddie Cerritos, and Eddie is such a good saxophone player,
Okay.
so good that he plays the national anthem at the Royals game. That's how
Wow.
good he is. I mean, he's a really good player.
Hmm.
But I told him, I said, "You come when you can. You have private lessons. You do that. That's your priority. Your art is your priority. But if you commit to this, you got to do it. You got to show up,
Yeah.
to the games and stuff like that." And so my first year, I had a lot of kids, but then little by little, it just kind of because they don't see the wins
Yeah.
and they get demoralized. I'm like, you can't. They don't see that, and so
Yeah.
it's. But parents, the bigger problem I think we have is parents don't buy into it because they don't like. If you go to Moberly, you're a one horse town. You know everybody in that town, and everybody's gonna. You got kids that play 3 sports, if
Hmm.
not 4.
Yeah, yeah, we had a couple dual sports for sure. Kids who played like baseball, some of them did wrestling, basketball,
Right,
soccer, all that.
right, and so and those parents, their outlook or their perspective is this is good for them. Well, parents
Hmm.
that are, and I'd say my team was 90% Latina or Latino.
Hmm.
So I speak Spanish on the sideline the entire time. Going off on them, but the parents don't show up to games for the most part. I'm lucky if I have maybe 2 or 3 parents that come from 2 or 3 kids. They come and they watch the games, but but you have kids, you have parents. Their priority is that because the education is important.
Hmm.
The Latin American culture, with all due respect to them, they're thinking about money. They
Yeah.
really are. They gotta get
They gotta
some.
work, they gotta grind, man.
They
They
got to
gotta
grind and they
grind.
got to get that cash. And
Yeah.
so all of the kids had, all kinds of jobs, and you know, it, and it's just an unfortunate fact of life that those kids have to work like they do.
Hmm.
So, but
Man.
yeah,
So
so that's part of the problems that I have. But in the whole, though, I really like Paseo because when I was at Northeast, it wasn't uncommon to hear the N word every other word. And that's one word I just do not tolerate. And I'm
mhm.
like, you mentioned that to when I hear a Latin kid calling a Latin kid the N word, I kind of go, okay, seriously, guys, you understand what you're saying? Or we went to Lone Jack. And I
I
told,
was gonna ask you. You said you played Lone Jack, and I'm like, that's like rural country boys, and you got inner city boys. Like
oh, oh
that
yeah,
had to be crazy.
yeah, really, really crazy. But the funny thing was, though, one of my players comes off of the field at halftime, and they're all, yeah, man, the two center backs, right? They played a 4-4-2, or at least at
Hmm.
the moment they were, and they said, yeah, the two center backs, they're calling they're yelling at each other N word. Two white kids, and I'm going,
Jeez. Like they're
and
yelling at them, or the two white kids
no,
are
at
telling it.
each other, saying,
What?
hey, hey, nigga, and I'm just going, what?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then, but we also got a little bit of flack because they would say, racial slurs to my kids, but I can't hear it on the
Oh.
field neither. Can you? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
And-
you're
well,
so yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, lots of that going on. I get a lot of that from when we played, but like when we went to Clinton, none of that. Clinton's actually a fun place to play. So if you ever get a chance, go down
Hmm.
there. That's actually a really good bunch of people. I like them.
Yeah. Like,
There's some good people. Smithton too. Smithton was a good bunch of people when we went down there when I
oh,
was
I know
working with
this. I
them.
know the Smithton coach really well. He's a really good guy.
Yeah, they're good people. They were super nice with us when we went down my first season. Um, we annihilated everybody. I mean, it was a pummeling.
Hmm.
We went in and we
Yeah.
were playing on that. I don't even know if they have grass. I think they still have grass.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, they don't have turf yet. But
Mm.
yeah, we went down there and it was just we won the trophy and that was kind of a cool thing.
That's
But
awesome.
other than that, though, I mean, those two nice, they're really nice people, though. They were really good to us. They've always been hospitable. But
Hmm.
Lone Jack, though, the funny thing is, after we lost my girls' game in the regular season, one of the parents bought food and drink for all of my kids. And I was like, oh, wow,
From
that was,
Lone Jack, one of the Lone Jack
yeah,
parents did that.
yep, a Lone
That's
Jack parent
nice.
for everything. He said, yeah, get a
Wow.
hot dog, a chip, and a soda or Gatorade or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God. That was really,
Okay.
really nice gesture. And I really do like the coach. He's a good guy. Um,
Hmm.
but he's in a one horse town too. If I
Yeah.
had that kind of talent, man, no, because you've never seen me coach, but I'm the loudest guy on the planet because I'm screaming not at the kids to like belittle them. I'm screaming at them
Yeah.
because
No.
they're 100 yards away.
No, I get, dude. I get
You
it.
know
I
what I
get
mean?
it, man.
I'm
I get
always,
it.
I can't sit down during a game.
Hmm.
I'm too
No.
into it. So,
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, so it's just those are the kind of things you have to deal with, but you take it, you try and take it in stride, and that's why one reason I did stop this year and I kind of semi-retired from coaching. I said, hey, I just need a break.
Hmm.
I put so much emphasis into what I do. Like I make all the kits, I wash all the lawn. You know how it is. I mean, I
Yeah.
wash all the laundry. I make sure that everything's I do everything, and
Yeah. It's
so
kind of nice to come and be an assistant, and I'm getting to step back a little bit from having to do all the
all the
paperwork and the extra stuff, and all of that. It's kind of nice that I can just show up and I can coach. Like
yeah.
it's going to be nice.
Yeah.
Farmer, I know, he's been running that Park Hill South program for a while, and it's a well-oiled machine, man. It's so organized, and it's
You
like
have
it's
kids
nice
that
that I can just show up.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. You have parents and kids that buy in. And I
Yep.
tried everything I could to get parents to buy in. I wanted to, I try and build that, hey, like, every year I have a new motto or something,
Hmm.
right? And the first year was the return because they hadn't had soccer in like 15 years. So I made a
Hmm.
logo. I do screen printing on the side,
Yeah.
made it, said here, and I profited nothing. And I said, here's a
Hmm.
kit. You get a practice shirt, you get a game day shirt, right? Um, and then at the end, we do a thing called a SOGO. You sell one, get one. And so
Yeah.
I would print the hoodies, and they would sell hoodies to the teachers and say, hey, if you buy a hoodie, I get a hoodie. And I would make them custom. And so I would customize each one. It would be a custom one-off. So everyone would have their last name. Every name would have, and it would have their number on it. That kind
Oh
of
wow,
thing. And
awesome.
I do that program, and I tried to build it, but it's so weird though because the kids, they, you and I, it would have been, yeah, I'm buying that because I
Yeah, I
want to
would
be
have.
a part of that. Not everybody would buy, and I'm kind of like, I understand that you need money for things, but how do you not want to be a part of this?
Yeah.
and have your
How do
name
you
on
not want to
this.
support your own teams?
Yeah, exactly. And so that was the hard concept. And I'm kind of like, I've done everything I can possibly. And for the girls, I do a totally different thing because the boys just want to play and eat. That's it. The
Mhm.
boys don't want
Yeah.
anything else. So like the girls, I do a totally different program. And for them, I do a braid and bow day, which is their picture day. I
Mhm.
do a scavenger hunt, so I divide them into 2 teams, and they do a thing. I do a water fight at the end of the year, which is everybody loves that, and so I bring
Mhm.
the boys in too, and so they do that, and then I do a tie dye day. You know, I do all of these little activities to try and build them the
Mhm.
consistency and the love and the camaraderie. You know, and I'm like, but they don't. Oh, I've got something else to do that's more important. I'm like, it, but if I was doing this honestly at Moberly or anywhere else, I guarantee you parents would be just freaking out and going, oh my God, why are you doing all this stuff? And it's like, this is how you make a team.
Yep. Now
You know,
they would have
when
loved
you
it.
don't
Yeah.
have skill, you've got to get unity.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's how it was at Fulton. When we were only winning like 3 games, like we had to come up with we did one practice where I went through the entire campus of Fulton and I made a soccer golf course. And we did that
Oh,
as a day.
cool.
Yeah, no, it was actually really fun and I did it myself. And so we set like we had all these like like those poles you can just
Yeah,
put
yeah,
to do
yeah, yeah, yeah.
drills. That was the hole. You had to hit the
You had
hole
to hit
or
the pole.
and I painted around it so there'd be a hole, like that's the hole. You had to make the ball land in there. And so
Right, right, right.
I made maps. I printed. I mean,
Oh,
this is
that's
what I did
so
during my
cool.
plan. The kids loved it. We did it as a day after a game, and it was. I mean, they just enjoyed it. They're like, "When are we gonna do that again? That was so fun. Let's make
Yeah.
a tournament of it." And I'm
I
like,
would
"Dude,
do that for my girl. Oh, that sounds like a really wow.
are you still
I,
coaching the girls?"
I am coaching the girls. I am
Okay,
coaching
okay,
the girls.
cool.
So that's the nice because they had more, there's more potential there. And I just, not that I
Okay.
don't like the boys, but I was just like, okay. And the big reason I'm not coaching is not the kids. There's a
Mhm.
little bit of the kids. Like when I say that, they're just not interested, they don't come to practice, that kind of thing. But it's the adults.
Okay.
It really is. It's the adults
Mhm.
that they just, they're not doing their job.
Yeah.
I mean, my dog could do a better job. My dog could walk in there and do a schedule. The guy who scheduled things was just, was last year, our boys, we played East. We play them twice.
Mhm.
They came to our school one day because we don't have a field. We have a grass field there, but not a legitimate field.
Mhm.
And they came as if they were going to play at our school. And I said, no, we don't have a field. So
Where do you
whoever
guys play?
scheduled the game scheduled it for us at Paseo.
Where do you guys play?
We play at Southeast
Oh, okay.
in the
Okay.
city, right? So we
Gotcha.
play down at Southeast, right next to Swope Park. Sure enough, we have to get on that bus with East and play at East because there's another event going on at Southeast.
Oh my gosh.
Next thing, we played them twice. The second time we had to play them, they said, "Oh, we're going to play at 9th Street." Are you out of your mind? That's the
I don't
wild, wild west.
yeah. I
In
don't know
the
where that is, but I know if it has a number on it, to probably stay away.
9th Street it's got a fence around it, but
Oh
there's
my
no security.
gosh.
It's a public place. There's no security. There's no nothing. So you don't have any kind of like buffer,
Uh-huh.
security guards, police, nothing. Well, we get there and we're supposed to play Chris no Guadalupe. Guadalupe. First year I did, I actually played them against Guadalupe. No, I had to play I think it was Cristo Rey. And
Yeah.
but the city runs that.
Yeah.
The city, you have to get a permit. Well, somebody in our department didn't get the permit. So we
Jeez.
couldn't play that game. Then we said, hey, we have to play at Central, which is now a city-owned type of thing. No nets on the goals.
Oh my gosh.
So we had to end up going to Northeast to play that game on a different day. And I had told my boss, we cannot play at Central.
Mhm.
We can't because it doesn't have nets. Oh no, that'll be fixed. We get there that day, it's not fixed. We have to get, and our bus driver had to take East and us to East again to play at their home field. Bus is not
So,
arriving.
does it make you want to become an admin?
Pardon me?
Does it make you want to become an admin?
No. I don't want to do. They're bad enough, Bridger. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, no, I get
They're
it.
bad enough. I don't want to go to the dark side.
Right.
Because if I was on the dark side, honest to God, I'd fire people. If I was a
Yeah.
superintendent, I would start from scratch. I would just fire the lot of them.
Yeah.
Because it's just not, and I know that's probably not fair for me to say because I'm not an
Mhm.
administrator, but look at some of the decisions they make. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, guys, you're making decisions based on, it's totally impetuous.
Mhm.
You're not thinking out loud. So anyway, so yeah, that's the main reason I'm not coaching, but at least I have time to, because I could always rescind it if I don't want to do it and I find out that the administration's screwing up even more.
Mhm.
I can always back out of it. Not that
Yeah.
I want to, because I've already made a promise to the kids. So I said,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm going to do the girls. But it's just one of those things. You just kind of sit there and you go, oh my God, who is running the show?
Yeah.
There's no captain at the freaking helm. And if it is, it's Larry, Moe, and Curly.
Mhm.
They're terrible. And so it's really hard. When you had a one horse town, it's a little simpler because now you may have busing issues to a certain extent, but we have like real busing issues.
Yeah.
And when we played Clinton this past year for the boys, my assistant and I had to drive 2 minibuses for all 3 games because we didn't have buses. And I'm like, somebody at the administration level didn't either reserve them
Mhm.
or it was 2 other people. It had to be somebody else that had that screw up because they had our schedule.
Mhm.
It wasn't like, and I'm very prompt about that. Here
Yeah.
is my schedule, and I had people calling, oh, you have a game with us. No, I don't. Not according to our schedule. On this schedule, it does. And this schedule, I'm like, somebody get your job done right. So yeah,
Jeez.
that's one of the it's just a problem. And at my
Yeah.
age, I'm just,
You're too.
I'm not willing to, be,
What's that quote? I'm getting too old for this shit.
yeah. But if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. And so
Yeah.
that's why I do a lot of the stuff that I do. I mean, most of it comes out of my pocket, and I
Mhm.
don't really mind the pocket stuff because I know it's going to a good cause.
Yeah. It's
And
going to help kids.
yeah, I'm talking about kids, and I know later on they're going to go, yeah, that was worth it. He was a good coach. He did his job. And I had parents come up to me and say, you don't know what you're doing. And I'm like, go get your license, go get your coaching license, go get your teaching license, and you can do it all day long. Because
Yeah.
they see one thing.
They see the L's and the W's. That's all they see.
They don't, and whether Johnny or Janie scored a goal or not, or sat
Mhm.
on the bench or anything like that. And that's why I don't. And like I said, I've coached everything, and I've coached academy, I've coached club, and I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
Because this is a story I got to tell you. So I'm
Yeah.
coaching club in Dallas. I'm coaching for a club called Aces. It's a small club, not very. I mean, they have like maybe, I don't know, 15 teams top or something like that. Really small, not like big stuff like Dallas Texans where they have 40 different teams at every level.
Mhm.
Well, it's a small club. Well, I have a club, and I've got this girl named April Petter, who's my assistant, right? And we get this group of girls, and these parents are coming from rec, and they're raw talent, but they have no general idea of tactics and how the game really
Like
works.
soccer IQ is low.
Yeah, but they don't understand because they all have played together for years. Softball, soccer, tiddlywinks, whatever.
Mhm.
Well, we get into the season, right? And they bring on a girl. One of the parents says, "Oh yeah, we're gonna put this team." And I'm like, "I'm the coach here. I'm deciding who plays it." No, she's gonna play for us. And I'm like, "Wait a minute, okay, this is not happening." So
Mhm.
sure enough, this girl gets on. She turns out to be okay, not terribly
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
not bad. And I say, "Okay, fine. Well, I'm going to bring on my daughter, who's in soccer intelligence, super smart,
Mhm.
not fast, not big, great passer,
Mhm.
great passer. She knows the deal." My wife's coming in, by the way, so I'm on a podcast real quick. So anyway, my wife's coming in, and my dog's trying to say hello. Anywho, so And so I brought in this one girl. I want my daughter and another girl who's quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what? I need these two girls because they're super smart and they're
Yeah.
quick, but they're younger. So they were playing up in age.
Uh-huh.
They're like, oh, you can't do that. And I'm like, the heck I can't.
Right.
And so I said, hey, fine. And when I put them into the game, they didn't make the mistakes that the other kids would make. And
Mm-hmm.
I tell them, I say, if my daughter was a total role player, she'd go in for 5 minutes and I talk to the kid who pulled out. And that's what I usually use. I use a system where I can messenger instead of yelling it all the time. I
Yeah.
pull them up. I say, hey, we need you to do this, this, and this. I tell my daughter, I need 5 hard minutes from you, 5 super hard minutes. I need you to distribute the ball. I don't want you to do anything spectacular. Play good, hard defense and
Yeah.
distribute the ball. And she'd do that. Sure enough, one day we were playing at a game and we were playing a team called Andromeda. And Andromeda is a really good squad. And it's a cold day. And I have a no phone policy. No phones, period.
Mm-hmm.
And so sure enough, one game, this dad, I hear this Melody. I'm like, fuck. Sure enough, he gave her a walkie-talkie.
I knew that's what it was. That's so funny. A freaking walkie-talkie.
I asked my assistant, April, I go, April, did you hear what I heard? She said, yeah, what is that? I'm like, I don't know. Hey, Melody, why are you on the bench? Why are you on the bench? Or something like that. Right? I walk over there and I find it. I'm like, what are you doing with this? My dad gave it to me. And he's on the other side in a full-on Carhartt, like full body type of thing, because it's that kind of windy cold.
Yeah.
I'm in my tracksuit, my Adidas tracksuit, and it's cold. And I take that and I go, oh man, you can't be serious. And I threw it. I chucked it. I can't believe this. Dad came screaming, what are you doing? I want to talk to my daughter. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. She's not the answer to our problems.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Had a parent who built a facility so that the team could train.
Oh my
On that same
gosh.
team. Yeah, built a facility. And they were all like, in Texas, they have a hierarchy. Lake Highlands is top tier. I mean, it's really good soccer. I mean, it's really good quality kids. And to get into that league, you got to qualify. And it's not easy. It's a really long journey to get in there.
Yeah.
And they're like, how long will it be before we get there? And I go, 3-4 years minimum, because it takes seasons of, understanding technique and tactics. And you got to be willing to play the system that we have as personnel. We can't just say, hey, we're going to run a 4-3-3 and just, that's it. No, if we need to run a 3-5-1, I'm going to run it. Yeah. But I have to run what my talent gives me. And they didn't understand that. They didn't believe that I won a national title. They didn't believe that I had played professional soccer. They didn't. None of them. They all said, "Oh, you're just full of shit." And I'm like, "No, I guarantee it." They didn't like. Yeah, so I ended up getting dropped like 5 games in.
Wow.
But they ended up getting in by a total fluke into the Lake Highlands League.
Wow.
And then for 4 straight seasons, they just got obliterated.
Yeah.
And there's no mercy rule in Texas.
Oh.
And I mean, I don't know how you just deal with that. I mean, and not one of those kids got a college scholarship for any sport. Not one.
Wow.
Including my daughter. I mean, my daughter she just stopped playing, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, just crazy stuff. And that's why I won't do club anymore, because it's more about parents and stuff. And it's getting crazy these days.
Yeah. I'm coaching with the Legends right now, the KC Legends up in the Northland.
Yeah.
And honestly, they've been nothing but supportive, man. They've been really cool so far. So we haven't played any games yet. So we'll see what happens after that happens.
My kid, Abu Muhammad, he played for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he was in high school.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's that genius kid.
Yeah.
They call him the genie because he can get out of anything. I
Well,
mean,
KC Legends, you know how they develop kids, man. It's all about tight spaces and
yeah.
technical ability. So they're going to develop. They develop their entire curriculum is really good. We actually have a meeting. I have a meeting with them at 7 tonight.
Okay.
We're doing like a coaches meeting, but yeah. So
Okay.
they're all
Cool.
about development.
When's your first game?
My first game with the Legends is next Friday. Um, oh man, I want to say it's like at 5 o'clock, 5 or 6.
Where at?
Let me pull up the app real quick so I can figure that
Ah,
out. So, but
hilarious.
it's I'm trying to learn all the places that I'm supposed to be going to. We're playing against AFC Fossils, and it's going to be at Swope Soccer Village, and it's at 5 o'clock.
Oh, down at Swope Park.
Yep.
I know where it is. Yeah, I played there. Those are nice. They're decent fields. They're
Hmm.
not too beat up, which is
Yeah.
good.
It's a little U10 team. So what they did is KC Legends already had a U10 team,
Right.
but they had a bunch of kids that they knew wanted to come out. I guess one of the teams, some team folded. So there's a bunch of basically free agents. So KC Legends was like, hey,
Pick
if
them up.
we're gonna do a tryout, if we get enough, we're gonna have two U10 teams. So I've got the second U10 team. So
Nice.
there's two of them. So I don't know. I mean, I've got a couple little kids in there that are kind of studs. So I think I think we'll do fine. We'll win some games,
Yeah.
but it's all about just, for me,
What about
making
high school though?
money. Well, high school, we don't play until October 28th or something. It's a Tuesday. We play Lee's Summit as our first game.
Say that again.
Lee's Summit?
No, October.
Oh, sorry. No, not October. Sorry.
I see.
August. I'm in August.
Whoa, dude! I was gonna go. Man, you're gonna be playing like 20 games in 20 days.
Yeah, no. Sorry, I misspoke. No, August. Sorry, my brain is so fried from
Yeah.
PD today,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
many dates and
I
all
get
this
you. I get
information
you.
I had to have.
Yeah.
So
I think.
I got one last question for you before we
Yep.
end this.
Go for it.
If you let's say tomorrow you got a magic wand and you could fix Misha or change something with Misha, so high school soccer or even high school sports in general, whatever you want, what would you fix? What do you think is something that needs to be changed and fixed to make high school soccer at least better or at least improved?
Take away pay for play.
Okay.
Take it all away, and do Jurgen Klinsmann. There's your answer right there. I
Okay.
don't know if you're old enough to remember when he
I
was.
remember him. I remember him.
Jurgen Klinsmann was doing the right thing, but everybody's stuck on the idea that you have to pay to play in the United States. But the problem is, the United States soccer is not the number one sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's never going to be either.
Yeah, it's never going to be.
It just can't, because people are just fanatics of football. Heck, I'm a fanatic of football. My God.
Yeah.
But you cannot find the talent that you truly need doing it the way they're doing it, because and I have tons of friends all over the world.
Mhm.
I've been very fortunate that I know a lot of people, and the clubs like, Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG,
Mhm.
Juventus, go anywhere. All
Yeah.
those clubs pay those fees so they can find that talent.
Yeah.
We don't. If you'll never find that talent. That's why somebody like Abu Muhammad, my player, will never
Mhm.
get recognized. Why? Because they're not coming to Paseo to watch Paseo play, or
No.
Northeast play, or even East when East won state 2 years ago. They're
Yeah.
not coming. And guess what? None of those kids will go to college because they don't have the
Resources.
background to go to college and
Background.
last in college and play the college game.
Mhm.
They don't see it that way. But if you want to find the talent, what you really honestly got to do, you got to get MSL, and that's the other problem. MLS doesn't have a relegation.
Yeah.
If they had a relegation, life would be great, because then it'd be legit. People would
Mhm.
be like fighting for their jobs. And then MLS needs to go, we're going to pour money into soccer. The women don't need to, because they're more popular than the guys.
Yeah, they're doing great.
I'd rather go watch the girls play than the guys.
Yeah.
Be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
because you go to if I go to KC, if I go to Sporting KC, I would kind of like, it's nice soccer, don't get me wrong. And I
Mhm.
know I'm being judgmental and armchair coach,
Mhm.
but even I know it's mediocre soccer
Mhm.
if you really get to the root of it. But
No, it is.
It is, because because Messi's trying to do the right thing, but the thing is, by bringing all that talent over here is nice, but the thing is, we don't have enough homegrown talent like you do at Barcelona, or you do at
Mhm.
Arsenal, or whatever.
Mhm.
All those clubs find that talent by why? because the billions of dollars that they make, they put into the youth.
Yep.
And you don't find anybody paying for it. Now, if you're not good enough, you just go play rec and you're on your way. But they'll pull you aside and say, hey, we want you, Johnny. Come on. We'll pay for it. Don't worry about it. But we don't do that here. You've got to pay for it. And then the other subject is, honest to God, is NIL.
Yeah.
I mean, you got high school kids that are earning more money than most of the superintendent. I mean, what you know? So that makes it NIL and the transfer portal and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit different for sports. But as far as Misha is concerned, as far as like state, I would say and I would say just soccer in general. I'm not going to say other sports. It's a little bit different. I would say soccer, as far as soccer is concerned, they got to get more consistent with who you're going to play. That way we have kind of a better idea, but they let it out, and they I don't know if they're trying to do it for parity or if they're trying to do it for what, but it makes no sense to me no matter what, because you won't find out until school, 2 weeks into school.
Yeah.
Or maybe this week or something. I don't know when it comes out.
I think it's like the first day of school or second day of school. It's before the jamborees can be played. I know that.
Right. And
but
so even then, though, your schedule's already made.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. It's like the schedule's already made. You can't change it. And then also it's, especially with us, like when I was at Moberly, we went west one year and we played like Oak Grove, Odessa, Marshall in a district title. The next year I was in St. Louis. Well, I scheduled Pleasant Hill and Oak Grove on my schedule because I figured I was going to go west again. And then they threw us east. So if anything, make it on a 2-year rotation. Keep the same district for 2 years.
Exactly.
But then at least people know and they can change their schedule.
But the only reason, like, for instance, the only things that they do that are different is, and I kind of don't like this, like when Guadalupe won state, they were 1A. They were really good in 1A. Then they bumped them to 2A. Then they bumped them to 3A.
Yeah.
And then they won state at 3A with a population of like 400 kids or whatever, but just had mad talent. That year we were supposed to play them my first year. That was the same year that they won state. And that same year we were supposed to play at 9th Street. 9th Street was just trashed. The turf was pulling up holes at the penalty spot like this deep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Nothing. Oh, we'll just throw some sand in it. I'm like, are you nuts? I'm not putting my kids' lives at risk. And on top of that, it was at 9th Street. Yeah. And I said, no, I'm not playing. And my kids were furious because we would have given them a game.
Yeah.
We would have been a high. We would have given them a really good game, but I wasn't going to put them at risk. The field was crappy. You have heroin needles on the floor. I mean, you got just all kinds of stuff going on. Drive-bys, not uncommon. So I said, no, I'm not doing that. But they don't. But that's why I think that they got to stick with what things are. You know what I'm saying? They got to stick with okay, Moberly, Hannibal, and whoever, get those 4 or 5 teams and let them stay in that district. And that's just the way because now you just never know what you're going to get.
It's the Wild West. You have no idea what you're going to get.
Yeah, it's a trap shoot, so it's hard. But I mean, it's you go to Texas, you know exactly who you're going to play. Without a doubt. There's absolutely no doubt who you're going to. There might be a little bit of redistricting every once in a while, but for the most part, you know exactly who's in your district.
Yeah.
And that's it. And so, that. And I think they should do away, like pay for play. They really got to get that away from that. The sooner they get away with that, the more talent they're going to find. Because I remember back Callie Lunsford. Callie Lunsford was she was a Gatorade Player of the Year at Marcus High School in Texas a bunch of years ago. She could have gone to any school in the world, and she went to North Texas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but she had reason because she wanted to be near her family and everything. And I'm like, okay, fine. And her parents spent tens of thousands of dollars. Pardon me, bud.
No, you're all good.
Who is it? To get their kids a scholarship and everything. She was being recruited by every major organization on the planet. Got hurt. Never played pro. Never. I mean, the amount of money that's spent just to get kids in, and this as well as I do. I mean, you're lucky if 7%, 6% go on to play Division One.
Yeah.
And
If
then,
that, it's probably even lower than
yeah,
that.
but I mean,
With how many internationals come over.
if you play at college level, at any
Mhm.
level, Division One, two, three, even NAI, you're a stud.
Yeah.
You really
Even
are.
JUCO, you're a
Yeah.
stud.
But if you play at D1, you're a stud. But everybody thinks that's the only place you can go. And I'm like, there are a lot of good Division two programs in Kansas and
Mhm.
in Missouri that you could go to. Heck,
Yeah.
St. Louis University.
That's D1,
Is it
SLU.
D1? But they're
There's
studs.
Washington is D3.
Yeah, Washington. They're a bunch of studs too.
They're D1 athletes. It's because it's basically a D1 academic school.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so they're getting D1 level athletes and students, and that's why
But
they're
they're
so
just smart.
good. Yeah,
They're
they're
just super
crazy smart.
smart.
They'll be doctors too. Like they'll go win a national championship, and then they'll be your lawyer next year. Like that's just how. Like they're
Exactly.
crazy.
But
So
too many parents are well, my daughter's going to play no, she's not. You're not going to play Division One soccer, or you're not going to play Division One anything for that matter. So
yeah,
I think that's just the hardest part is that the convincing the parents and the system. They just
giving
don't
them
want to give
realistic
up.
goals.
They
Yeah.
don't want to give up on the money. And I'm like,
Mhm.
the money's there. You're just moving it to a different source, which is
Yeah.
the MLS doing it. But MLS doesn't want to do that because they're worried about their bottom line. Well, if you
Yeah.
want bottom line, then you need talent. That's your number
True.
one time.
True.
Anybody knows that. Your
Mhm.
number one goal, if you're going to do that, you got to have talent. You got to have a
Mhm.
feeder system. And if you don't have those two things, it's going to be tough to be successful. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I completely agree. Well,
yeah.
Kev, man, this was awesome.
Thanks,
This
man. I
is
appreciate
great,
it.
dude. Thank you so much for doing this.
Anytime.
Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to like throw out there? You said you do some
Um,
like screen printing on the side. Do you have like a little business?
yeah,
Like anything you want to
my
plug out there?
company's called my company's called Unique Inc. YUNIKINK. And
Okay.
I'm actually wearing one of my shirts right now. You can't really see it, but
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, here, I'll do this. That's my logo. I know
All
you
right.
can't really read it, but
Yeah.
that's me. And so I do custom one-offs. But it's kind of a tax write-off, but it gives me therapy. So I don't get, when I'm really focusing on that,
Mhm.
mellows me out. So,
All right.
but
Love it, man.
anyways,
Well,
well,
hey,
hey, listen, I'm going to try and come and get you. I really will. I'm going to try and come and see you guys play. But you're at Park Hill North or South?
South.
You're South.
Mhm.
Okay, so do me a favor and I'll look up your schedule, and I
Yeah.
want to see if I can't catch a few games and stuff.
Yeah. It
I'd
should
really
be
like
on
to.
Misha here in the next couple of days, I think.
Yeah,
So
man, that'd be great. I'd love to. And if you ever have a what do you call a round table kind of thing, that would be kind of maybe cool to get a
yeah.
bunch of coaches on here and discuss stuff. That would be
Heck
kind
yeah,
of
man.
cool. But
We'll get it scheduled, dude. But thank you so much for doing
hey,
this.
anytime, man.
Yeah.
You're a great host. I appreciate it, man. You take care.
Thanks. You too. Bye.
All right, man.
Thank you so much for listening to the On the Pitch podcast. Make sure to follow us on Spotify, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.